Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me, absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Welch's can't make everything make sense. Like why your mom still listens to the radio or what she meant when she sent that emoji. But a zero sugar drink that's still full of fruit flavor, we made that make sense. And strawberry, passion fruit, Concord grape, and more. You gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay, choo-choo!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today. This is a crazy edition. I say it every week. Great. Never mind. It's a regular...
It's a normal
Express, which is absolutely insane. A 12 on the insane-o-meter here. This is multiple murders, a bunch of murder stuffed into an hour today, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Quickly, before we get to that, shutupandgivememurder.com. Tickets for live shows, they are flying out of here, I'm telling you.
Unbelievable.
Nashville is now sold out, too. We got Phoenix is sold out. These are nowhere. They're months away, so please get your tickets. Places like Minneapolis. Minneapolis, by the way, if you sell this out, will be our biggest show we've ever had. You will have beaten Chicago.
Yeah.
So there you go. Over the years, you love beating Chicago. So try to do this.
Vikings Bears grudge, and let's do this to the max.
Just wear a Vikings hat to the show, and we're all happy. And you can use that. It'd be a Twins hat. You guys have been fucked over a little bit sometimes. So get in there and do that. Also, Boston, New York, all those are going fast. So shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get those. Also, listen to our other shows. Yeah. Crime and Sports, #1, listen to, because first of all, there's a lot of murder going on there in the last couple months. Check it out.
Tons of nuts.
Yeah, it really does cross over well with this. And then your stupid opinions. You got to hear your stupid opinions. It's so much fun every Monday morning. Check that out. Yeah. And patreon.com/crime and sports. Anybody, $5 a month or above, you are going to get couple hundred bonus episodes immediately, and then new ones every other week. And this week is no different. You're going to get one crime and sports, one small town murder. You get it all, baby.
Right.
This week for crime and sports, we're going to talk about Morgana the Kissing Bandit, who was an extremely large-breasted woman who would jump, out of the stands at large sporting events and sprint up to a player and kiss them, and everybody would smile and laugh, and then she'd jog off with her tits bouncing, and everybody would cheer. And she did it for like 30 years. It's the craziest thing ever. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about the prisoner dating game.
Oh,
back, everybody. All violent felon edition. Once again, going to line up my man here. 4 bachelors, 4 bachelorettes. He's going to pick one of each based solely on their pitch in their dating website there. They have one thing in common. They are all currently incarcerated for violent felonies. And then once he picks these 2 winners, he used that term loosely, he gets to find out
double winner.
who they did, what they did. Yeah, that's another Patreon reference. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of that. That said, let's get right to this.
Here
a lot of show in front of us here for sure. I think it's time, everybody, to sit back. Let's all clear the lungs. What do you say here? Yeah. Arms to the sky, and let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this. What do you say, everybody? Let's go on a trip, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. We're going to Illinois. Speaking of Minneapolis trying to best Chicago in ticket sales here, we're going to Arlington Heights, Illinois.
Terrific.
Which is a suburb of Chicago. So we're going to the burbs out here. Yeah, it's about 40 minutes outside Chicago. Okay. It's about 4 hours and 40 minutes to Columbia, Illinois, which is our last Illinois episode, episode 415, Dirty Desires, Killer Consequences. Ooh. I remember that one. It was a little gross. You should listen to it. Population here, town's a little above what we normally do, but it's definitely a suburb and a small towny feely type of deal here. It's not really a city. 77,283 on the population. Median household income here also pretty high. The average right now is about 69,000. Here it's 106,996, so about 107,000 there. And median home price $363,900. So
not bad.
It's a nice suburb of Chicago, and it's known as a nice area too, a really nice area. The nickname here, they call it. I don't know who calls it this, but on like Wikipedia it says the nickname is Action Heights. Oh, I don't know what's going on there, but their motto is the City of Good Neighbors.
Is that right?
Yeah, they just stole that from, like an insurance campaign, and that's all. Yeah, they were like, that's good, right? Yeah, those ad men knew what they were doing. Let's just keep that. Now, a little bit of history of this town very quickly. Throughout the 1830s, they still had the tribes that, were here to begin with, were still in this area, the Potawatomi, which, Potawatomi, sorry. They had a camp. They had camps in Arlington Heights there. They used them 6 weeks out of the year only. They were here for 6 weeks as from summer encampments. They would go from they'd stay here in between their summer and winter places.
They had summer and winter homes? That's amazing.
And then an in-between home, too.
Outstanding.
It was camping.
They were thriving.
It was camping. So in 1833, the Potawatomi signed the 1833 Treaty of Chicago with the United States. Yeah. And this gave the United States control of all the land west of Lake Michigan and east of Lake Winnebago in exchange for some other tract of land. So that is how the suburbs became the suburbs here in Chicago, and Chicago got into a big deal here. Now, notable people, I don't know if these people, I love when they have people like these people are from this town. Yeah. Because this is like Wikipedia. But the funny part is some of them just lived there for a day and then the town claims them. They were there for 3 months.
Yeah, there's a hotel in the middle of New Mexico somewhere that says Bob Hope stayed there, and it was because his fucking car broke down.
I was just going to say, the tour bus broke down.
Yeah.
And he was like, we got to stay in this shit all fine. And they put a sign up saying how excited he was to be there. That's
hilarious.
Excellent. That's excellent. It says here that Sebastian Maniscalco's from here, which he might be. This might be
probably
where
is,
he's from. Marlee Matlin, the actress.
Oh, yeah. The deaf lady.
And Ted Nugent as well, which I thought he was from
What
Michigan.
the fuck, Ted?
I thought he was from Michigan. He might have a house here or something. I don't know.
Telling me Ted might be a liar.
I don't know how much. Hunting grounds are around here, so I can't see Ted really hanging out in this area. So reviews of this town. Here we go. 4 stars. Arlington Heights is the most family-friendly place one can go to. The most. The most possible on the face of the earth is Arlington Heights.
How do you even measure that?
They have a very interesting scale of how they do it. I feel like it's very mathematical.
Yeah.
Filled with so many activities for people of all ages. Truly a wonderful place to be.
Yeah.
Truly. 4 stars.
Okay.
Next one. Less potholes in the roads, please. But otherwise, the neighborhood streets are quite nice.
Yeah.
Just reviewing potholes.
It's the Midwest. You got horrible cold that asphalt doesn't hold up to.
Things are freezing and cracking and warming back up all the time. You see so many people walking on a nice day. That's a sentence in the middle of this. Just to throw that in there.
Potholes, please. You see people. Maybe they're walking because their car hit a fucking pothole.
No, you see so many people walking on a nice day. This is just a random thought. Little thought bubbles that are popping out. Many children at the public parks and dogs with their owners. Did you have to say that? Not stray dogs would have been fine. Unless you said tons of stray dogs everywhere, we'd assume that dogs had owners somewhere. That person is really annoying. 3 stars. This is I don't understand what they're saying. Quote, do not know much about. This is why the internet is bad, because
you'll just throw words together.
Someone can go, do not know much about. 3 stars. How about don't fucking review it then? If you walked into a restaurant, never been here before, I'm going to leave a bad review. They'd be like, how about you eat first? What the hell are you talking about? 1 star. Very dull. Crazy high property taxes. Neighbors are extremely unfriendly. Wow. The one motto is, what is it? The city of good neighbors is the motto of the city. Well, holy shit. No public transportation. And for such an expensive suburb to live in, there are no activities for young adults or adults in general. I'm 30 years old and meeting people was almost impossible. You know what you could do? Go to that giant fucking city that's 40 minutes away. How about that? Yeah. Chicago's right there, you lazy bastard. That's on you. Yeah,
you live 40 minutes outside of a giant city. Anything that is missing is all on you.
It's all on you.
100%.
You're in the suburbs. It's weird. Yeah. There's not a lot for 30-year-old single people to do in the burbs. No, the burbs are for families. That's who lives there.
Did he think you moved to the suburbs and they issue you a family and a wife?
That's it. Yeah, he's like, I didn't even get my wife yet. It's fucked up. How am I supposed to impregnate her?
You don't get a Stepford upon arrival.
So weird. So things to do here. Mm-hmm. The Frontier Days Festival.
It starts in Chicago.
It's a big festival. And
frontier.
Of the frontier, yeah. Which when I think frontier, I think Chicago suburbs, the frontier.
Covered wagons, fucking Chicago.
There is not
cattle
going
trains, fucking Chicago.
I think Chicago, man. Yeah. So they call it an old-fashioned hometown gathering. Mm-hmm. And playing there will be Seventh Heaven, who actually was playing at another festival we made fun of.
It was!
Because we did it during a live show. So I know exactly what these guys look like and everything. They call them Chicago's very own, and they say they're recognized as one of the biggest independent bands in the Midwest. Maybe. We've heard of them.
They play small festivals fucking everywhere.
All over the place. Lou Graham will be there, who is the original voice of Foreigner.
Really?
I think he's the original Foreigner singer.
That's our Jukebox Hero?
That's Jukebox Hero and fucking
I guess,
all that shit.
You know what? I don't know a single member of Foreigner, and I can sing probably upwards of 15 of their songs.
Yeah, that's true. I've never heard. I know.
I fucking love them and have no idea who they are.
Yeah, I bet you can name every member of Poison, though, which is sad. You could, can't you?
I probably got 3 of them.
I was going to say, you might forget Bobby Dahl, but I doubt it. You might get him.
That is fucking crazy.
That is fucking wild. So there you go. He's in the Songwriting Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So there you go.
And I know who Seventh Heaven is.
We know. I've heard of him, but Lou Graham, you're like, I don't know who that is. That said, let's talk about a whole shitload of murder here.
All right.
Wow, do we have just 10 pounds of murder in a 2-pound bag this week?
Not just Lou Graham's reputation.
Yeah, we've slaughtered Lou Graham's reputation. Let's move on to others now that deserve it less.
I'll never forget him now, though.
No, with 2 M's. Remember that. Graham with 2 M's. Never
Terrific.
forget him. Gramm. Now this murder...
Oh, like the Insta, not Graham like the cracker.
No, Gramm. Lou Graham. Like gram of Coke with extra M.
Unbelievable.
So this murder, let's go back to 1988 where we're going to start. It's not when our main murder takes place, but there's several. So let's talk all about it. This is some people, there's some families and some corners of families that are just fucking doomed. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Where they're just like, Jesus, what a doomed family. This one died, and then this one died, and then this one was murdered, and then this one, holy shit. So
parents in a car accident.
Yeah, and then
Christ.
somebody got their little sister got cancer when she was 6 and died or some crazy shit. And it's like, this family is fucking doomed, man.
Yeah, and 2 at once sometimes. It sincerely makes you think, Jesus, what the fuck?
What is happening?
Ancient burial ground is your house built on?
So let's talk about Patricia Loratis. Loratis. She is 16 years old in 1988. So born in 72. She has a boyfriend in 1988. It is 19-year-old Robert Kosick, Kosick. Kosick, okay? So they are walking down the street together in 1988, a teenage couple, hand in hand. It's as they haven't been together very long, so it's still shiny and
hell yeah,
still smells good. You know what I mean? Still got that new relationship smell to it. Where
Robert's still thinking about things he can do to her before her parents find out.
Yeah, no one's bitter yet. You know what I mean?
Nope.
No one has like years of resentment built up. It's kind of nice.
Yep.
So as they're doing that, they're walking on the edge of Gregory Avenue near his home in Pistachey Highlands.
Yeah.
Wow. A subdivision north of McHenry. Now, he said they were walking on the grass, and she was on the grass and he was on the gravel to her right.
Gentlemen.
So then he saw a car that he said was being driven by Stacy McLean, who is a 16-year-old girl who happens to be the boyfriend's ex-fiance at 16.
Fiance.
1916. Oh, that's my ex-fiance. Hold on. Here she comes.
We promised to spend the rest of our lives together.
While we were sophomores.
16, yeah.
We were in sophomore math class, and we said, you know what? We should really make this permanent. So she goes to Johnsburg High School, a 16-year-old girl. Apparently, they had dated for 3 years, those two. So she went
13
to 16 and been engaged for a year. So that is wild. And then 2 months ago, he broke it all off. Everything. He said all they did was argue. He said, quote, we just never got along because of her jealousy.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Well, probably also because you're not really mature enough when you're 15 to enter into a lifetime relationship. You don't understand.
Done anything. Yeah.
You don't get anything. So then he said they're walking along. Here comes Stacy driving in her car.
Yeah.
And he goes on to say, quote, I saw Stacy's car come around the corner, begin to accelerate as it got close to us, and come off the road as we turned into a driveway.
Wow.
He said that McLean was, quote, looking right at me through the windshield. The car came up off the road and turned into us. I yelled to Patty to look out, and I jumped in front of her to get out of the way. Patty let go of my arm, and I heard her get hit. A thud sound.
Oh, Jesus.
I turned around and saw Patty rolling in a ditch and Stacy's car pulling out of the ditch area. Jesus.
Back onto the road?
Yeah, to drive away.
Oh,
She's
wow.
taking off. At least she wasn't putting in reverse to back over her, I guess. That's good. I ran to Patty to help her, but there wasn't much I can do. She was bleeding from the nose and left side of her head, and she wasn't breathing.
Oh, boy.
She's dead.
It's over.
It's over. This 16-year-old girl fucking gunned
killed
it
another one.
and plowed into another 16-year-old girl over this dipshit, a 19-year-old who was engaged to a 15-year-old.
What the shit?
This is awful. So this isn't the murder, by the way. This isn't the main murder. No, this is just background on somebody else.
Okay.
Of her family. This is okay. So the trial, by the way, Stacey McLean was convicted by a jury in 1989 here, but I guess she had a double plea of innocent by reason of insanity and guilty but mentally ill, which is, they said they called it an unusual double plea. I would say,
yeah,
I'm innocent. She pled both innocent and guilty. How the fuck do you do that? I'm so crazy, I'm going to confuse the court. That's how I'll get out of this. They won't know how to process it. They'll have to let me go. They don't know what's going on.
So what happened?
Well, she withdrew the plea of guilty but mentally ill and just pled innocent by reason of insanity, and she was convicted of that.
Okay.
But an appellate court ruled that the omission left jurors with a prejudiced and mistaken impression that McLean had continued with a guilty plea. So they said, even though she withdrew it, I don't know if they should have called it a mistrial then and got a whole new jury or what. That's what I guess the appeals court's saying. So they said that she was originally sentenced to 32 years in prison.
Jesus.
And her conviction was reversed, and she had served about 30 months of a 32-year prison sentence at that point.
Okay.
So then they have a retrial of her in 1993, where the boyfriend now, on cross-examination, he admitted that he had a few beers at a friend's home nearby and that he and Patty, who he said also had been drinking, were on their way to his home to get more beer and food. So they were like, oh, so you guys were drinking. That's what people do. When you drink, you just jump out in front of your ex-girlfriend's car. That's what happens, usually. To me, when I drink, So she's not guilty, right? So how the fuck does that matter?
On retrial, this shit is introduced, and now the jury is confused? Oh, it's the Midwest, man. Everybody's drunk.
They're like, well, I mean, the jury's like, I had 4 beers before I got here. I mean, I had four or 5 beers before I even came into this place, so I don't even know what the hell they're talking about.
In the sequester room.
I mean,
can't wait to get back to them.
They got us a keg in the jury room, so I mean, I'm going to be back there. It's how it's going.
Cannot wait.
The prosecutors worked to establish that jealousy was the motive here, and the defense tried to argue that it was an accident, that they were drunk and like wandered into the road as she happened to be driving by, just because she happened to be driving by her ex-boyfriend's house, who happened to be wandering into the road, and it's dark out, and you hit them, and sometimes the chick that you're mad at dies. You know how it goes.
It took away the only reason that I should be mad at him.
Yeah, sometimes you just get a lucky break in life, and that's...
Holy.
Sometimes the person you're most angry at drunkenly wanders in front of your moving car. That's a win-win for everybody, right?
There it is. Yeah, that'll fix this situation.
Oh, man. So they also found out that from some other girls how jealous she was, that she had tried to fight people who were going after, that were like talking to her boyfriend. Yeah. They even got the girl who was in the car with her when she ran.
There was somebody with her.
There's someone in the passenger seat going, you're not going to run Patty over, are you? Of course. Hey, holy shit, you just ran fucking Patty. What the fuck? Oh, my God. What is wrong with you?
Shut up. I'm trying to drive.
What is wrong? Get out of the ditch at least. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
So the friend said Stacey was very jealous. She would get angry when Cossack was in the presence of another female. She said that while riding in McLean's car on the night of the death here, she was looking into her purse when I heard a thud. I was just checking. I needed gum.
I was looking for chapstick.
You're on a residential street and you go, oh, there's my ex-boyfriend and her girlfriend. You hear the vroom of the engine revving and you go, I need Dentine right now. I got to look in my purse. Hold on, everybody. Where is that? She doesn't have a cell phone. It's 1988. So
slow down. I got to get my Burt's Bees.
I just cannot find my Carmex in here. It is a mess in here. I don't know where I put it.
She's got Carmex all over her forehead.
Yeah, when it comes out, she's like the lady in Airplane with a lipstick streak going on. Holy shit. She said, I looked up and all I could see was hair. Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, what the fuck?
It looked like Stacey had hit a girl because the hair was long. If I could have extended my arm through the windshield, I could have touched the hair. So she was on the car, basically. I heard a scream. I think it was Patty. Stacy didn't stop. She just kept going. I couldn't believe what had just happened. I said, "Where are you going? Stop."
Where am I going? Away from here, idiot.
And she said after that, she just drove in a very calm manner. She was calm. She was pissed, and now she's like, problem solved. Everything's fine. Just driving along.
Turns up the radio. This is my jam.
Yeah.
Girls just want to.
Come on. Sing it, Cindy. Whoa. True blue, baby. I am a daughter, too. I don't give a fuck. She also says here that not only did they drive in a very calm manner, but they stopped at 4 different locations looking for friends just to hang out. I wonder where that party is tonight. Fucking
holy
blood on your fender. And then eventually police arrived. Yeah. She told police that, quote, "I blacked out," is what she said.
She is cold-blooded, man.
Must have had a stroke or something. One of those real early onset strokes that people have. You know how that goes. So, wow, the impact of the car striking her, Patty, left the car's right front fender dented near the headlight, even. Such a big dent on it. She's just driving around looking for...
Wow, she got way off the road.
Yeah, so let's talk about Patricia's cousin now. Yeah? This is Patty's cousin. So Stacy goes back to jail here. She goes to prison, gets sentenced to more time. She, I believe, was paroled in 2001.
Wow.
I believe. I think she did about 13 years on that one.
She's got to be back in by now. She is psychotic.
I was going to say, she's going to get out, and I would not want to be the guy who was doing the writer prisoner with her. Let's just say that. That is terrifying.
I hope Bumble rejects her.
Good Lord. Imagine, she's a scary person.
Oh, my God.
The fact that her friend said afterwards she just drove calmly like nothing happened. She wasn't even like, good, I got that.
She took me to the Sonic and the bowling alley. We were looking to hang out with friends.
Everything's
You're a murderer.
better. Everything's better. So now her cousin, her name is Kristen Marie Popelka.
Yeah.
P-O-P-E, Patty's cousin.
Yeah.
Her name is Kristen Marie Popelka. Popelka.
Yep.
She's born January 3rd, 1978. So she's more in our wheelhouse here. She's her cousin. Now, Kristen has one sister named Kelly. Kristen is described by everyone and all as, quote, a beautiful, friendly young woman. So you know Kristen's in trouble in our story.
Oh, it's not good for her.
You know she's not long for this world at this point. That's all you can say. So now she is part of the family that, mourned Patty here.
Sure.
Patty is the, I think her father and Patty's father, Patty's mother brothers? Or brother and sister, something like that. It's a cousin like that, close. Okay. So... wow, that's crazy. Anyway, 1999, by then, Kristen is living in her parents' house in Spring Grove in McHenry County. It's a very nice community, nice suburb, no crime, very good stuff. She ends up hooking up with a guy here by 2000, though, and changes it. She wants to go move out on her own. She's also, 22.
Sure.
When you get to be 21, 22, you don't want to live at home anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want out. You got to get your own place and your own space.
A few years before that, you were already salivating at the thought, for sure.
Christ. From the time I was 11, I was like, I think I could handle shit. Yeah. You tell me where to pay the electric bill. I think I could do it.
I'll be all right.
I'll be okay. Yeah, I don't need any help here. So 2000, her boyfriend's name is Steve Hudson. He's 26. So they're 26 and 22. Yeah. That's fine. So she left her small hometown to move in with her boyfriend in Arlington Heights. And she had a job in Mount Prospect also, and this is closer to it. So it helps. So she gets an apartment with her boyfriend in the 2100 block of South Gobert Road in Arlington Heights. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
By the way, later on, one of these apartments we're going to talk about, we're going to do reviews for it on Your Stupid Opinions because in the reviews they mention this case, which is amazing.
Still.
Yeah. It's hilarious. So now he has an ex, Steve does, that does not like this relationship.
It's none of your fucking business.
Much in the vein of Stacey McLean, we have Irene Romaniuk, Roman with an I-U-K on the end of it. I-U-K, Romaniuk. So Irene, we'll say. Irene's 30. Okay. And they were together for a long time. I guess there was an engagement, possibly, that sort of thing here.
Irene was dating a 26-year-old, and he is now dating someone 4 years younger than
He's
him.
Like 4 years younger, not 4 years older. What am I doing?
That stings.
I was going the other way, yeah. So you're 30, she's 22, and so Irene, her dad was a Chicago cop. He's a retired Chicago cop. I guess about a month before all of this, in about August of 2000, is when Hudson stopped seeing Irene completely. Before that, though, he was living with Kristen, having a relationship with her, but still seeing Irene on the side.
Okay.
Irene would come over to the apartment they lived that Kristen and he shared, and they would fuck there. So,
oh boy,
this is still going on. But then a month before, in August of 2000, it's like I said, he stopped seeing her and tells her no more. I guess he's going to concentrate on the relationship with Kristen. But then at some point, he moves out of this apartment as well. So. He doesn't live there full time.
We gum things up, guys.
We're so messy. We're just a messy people. So the problem is, though, he doesn't live there, but he still has a key and comes over all the time and sleeps there half the time. I don't know what's happening here with
I don't
these
know
people.
how guys figure this out. I don't know how do you get yourself into a situation?
This is your 20s is what this is. I don't know. We're sort of together. I live there. I keep some clothes there. You have shit in like 4 different places when you're in your 20s sometimes.
Yeah.
How did we live like that?
I don't know.
The hell's wrong with all of us? So September 28th, 2000. All of this is Hudson and Irene and all that stuff is bubbling under the surface.
Sure.
So Scott Hudson comes home, or comes to this apartment, I should say.
Scott?
Scott, yeah. What did I call him?
I don't know.
I think I called him Steve. Okay, I think it's Scott. No, it is Steve. It's Steve Hudson, not Scott Hudson.
Okay.
So Steve Hudson, he comes home, and at 10:30 a.m. Is what he says. He says, I walked in at 10:30 a.m., and I found Kristen dead in my apartment.
Bloodbath.
An absolute bloodbath.
God damn it.
She has been beaten over the head. Her head is completely mashed in. I mean, she has been
what the fuck?
Pummeled, skull broken, blood fucking everywhere. It is a horrible scene, is what he says. He calls the police. They come. They say this must have happened in the last 3 hours. It's still pretty fresh. Autopsy shows she died of severe head trauma. She suffered 75 injuries.
Good Lord.
This is a savage beating.
That's
savage.
A long time. Yeah.
So this is like Chris on The Wire beating up Michael's stepdad in the street when he fucking stomps him to death and shit. And she's like, damn, we didn't even fucking, what the fuck? Like we didn't even get him in the house yet. What the fuck? Snoop's like, yo. So this is horrible, including a crushed skull.
Yeah.
Bruises all over her body. I mean, she has been fucking beaten horribly here. Terrible anger is behind this. Just to sustain,
very personal. Yeah,
to sustain this level of beating, you got to be super angry before you're like, I'm bored with this and walk away. Right. So they said that the police said that there were no suspects. They interview Hudson, as we'll talk about, but they will not tell the press if he's a suspect or not. If old Stevie Boy's a suspect.
Yeah, you got to suspect him. That's the boyfriend, and this is...
He just moved out. And this
super overpowered.
Savage personal beating. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. But they said he was released, but they're still speaking to him. Mm-hmm. That's all they would say. Okay. So like, okay, what was she up to when this happened? What was Kristen doing?
Yeah.
So they said she had been ready to leave for her job as a customer service representative for A.J. Gerard, which is in Des Plaines, where she had worked since March. They said she's wearing a jacket and a purse slung over her arm. She was last seen, from what Steve said, because he slept there the night before, so he was sort of living there. He left about 7:30 a.m., he said, to go to the Secretary of State's office in Elk Grove to renew his commercial driver's license.
Okay.
That's what he said. By the way, listen to our Elk Grove episode if you want to know about that.
Heaven came from.
That's where I think, was it that one or was it the Missouri? I think it was the Missouri one, actually.
I'm positive it was.
You sure?
Elk Grove.
I think it was Missouri. I think.
Nope, I'm positive it's Elk Grove.
Okay, maybe it was Elk Grove. So she's last seen there, and that's what he says. He said, "I went to get my commercial driver's license," and he was there.
Yeah.
They can tell if he went to Elk Grove and renewed his license or not.
Yeah, because it's got a timestamp on a fucking government identification.
He did, but then they also said this could have happened anytime between 7 and 10. So they're not discounting. Beat her skull in, went and got her his driver's license, and then came home and went, "Oh no, my poor girlfriend."
Yeah,
that's what they're saying. In the time period that could have happened. So police talked to a couple of witnesses who say they heard a loud verbal altercation in the building Thursday morning. Now, one witness says they saw Irene in the complex and heard screaming and female voices and various sounds that sounded like banging on the wall.
Okay.
Now, there's no one thought to call the cops during all this, though.
Yeah.
So
no police calls at all?
No, I think there's a bunch of dudes going, "It sounds like a cat fight, right?" "Yeah, buddy, I'll tell you what, I'd like to take a look at that. I bet a titty's going to pop out of that one." We're idiots, I feel like, all people. And there's not like a man beating up a woman, so they're like, "I don't know, it's two chicks, they'll figure it out."
I think they're both safe.
Yeah, who knows? Apparently not. So the police also said there was no ransacking. Quote, "It looked like the person was let in."
Okay.
So there's no forced entry or anything like that. Or it could be as she was walking out the door.
Right.
Somebody was outside. Yeah. Exactly. That could very easily be the case. So they said when she was found, here's some evidence that's going to be very helpful. She had strands of long blonde hair in her hands, in both hands.
Yeah.
Steve does not have long blonde hair, by the way.
Well, that fixes it.
That fixes that. The long blonde hair was also found next to her body, and a cosmetic fingernail was found nearby. They found a press-on nearby. So long blonde hairs and press-ons here.
That's Steve.
So it's got to be Steve or Trixie Mattel. We don't know. It could be anybody, really. Yeah. But somebody with
synthetic or real hairs.
Real hair, actually.
All
so
right.
maybe not. cosmetic fingernail, and they also found bloody footprints walking out of the door. So they're like,
really?
Huh. Yeah, because there's blood everywhere.
They walked right through the blood.
They walked right through the blood. And the footprints are much smaller than Scott's feet, or Steve's feet. So they're pretty much thinking if Steve did this, it wasn't him that actually did it. Yeah, I must have had someone else did it.
He shrunk, grew hair, and got a manicure.
And $8,000 is missing from the apartment as well,
really?
According to Steve. Yeah, $8,000 in cash.
Okay.
At the same time, in this very complex, the police are also pursuing a man suspected of stealing women's underwear from the laundry room. This is by the way, the Tanglewood Apartments, they were called here. And we'll, like I said, we'll have a review of those.
Discuss it. That looks bad, too. It looks like a guy that dresses like a woman is murdering people.
Yeah, or just a pervert who was stealing panties, and now he's escalating it up to killing a woman. So... But the man who was seen was described as Hispanic, 25 to 35 years old. Not a ton of Hispanic dudes that are 5'3" and 25 to 35 have long blonde hair. That's the only problem. Not a ton.
And wear press-ons.
And had a muscular build with a pot belly and a mustache. The long blonde hair with the mustache isn't a great look. That's the problem. That's how you know it doesn't really go together. They said he had dark hair slicked back. But it does spread out bushy and curly below his ears. So he's got a mullet. He's got some hair, but it's not blonde. We don't know. He could have dyed it. It's not sure.
He's got a slicked back mullet.
Yeah, he's a little Mexican dude with a mullet. That's all. He doesn't sound like someone who has Lee press-ons and long blonde hair. So they said
pervert cowboy is what he is.
That's it. I'm a pervert cowboy. I stole cowboy panties. So they said that Kristen had filed a police report on one of the thefts of her underwear about a week ago.
Really?
So they're saying her underwear were stolen and now she's killed, though. That's a week apart.
That looks bad, yeah.
That's why they're like, this is a lot. The sergeant in the charge here said he's a suspect in the panty theft. Is he a suspect in the homicide? No. Do we want to talk to him? Yes.
And he's like, I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, we know he didn't do the killing, but he might have been involved, they're saying. Yeah. So they called in the major case assistance team to help out with the case, and they said they were gathering all sorts of information. Family reaction, they freak out. This is, again, the second
time. Yeah.
Second young woman who's been killed in this family in a 15-year period.
Horrible way.
In 12 years, which is not a long time for a family with a murder.
They haven't even gotten comfortable with that girl being missing, being gone. You know what I mean? From family gatherings. There's only been 12 Thanksgivings without her. That's not a lot.
Is Patty coming? Oh, never mind.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Boy. Somebody is fucked up still and slipped and asked.
Yeah, absolutely. Where's Patty? So her friends, her sibling here, Kelly, her sister, her older sister, said that she loved to go bowling and she loved dolphins and had a collection of plates and figurines and pictures of dolphins. So it was all dolphins. She was a dolphin chick. They said people liked her. Quote, she was cheerful. She'd walk into a room and everyone would flock toward her. They'd say, look, Chrissy's here. Mm-hmm. She was my best friend. I don't know what I'm going to do without her, which is horrible. Joe Popelka, one of Kristen's uncles, stopped by here. He has said that he had been in shock. He said she's such a nice girl. You never heard a bad word come out of her. It's incomprehensible someone would want to do something like that to her. And her Aunt Sue said that she remembers Kristen as being kind and poised. She said that she stopped by one time. She stopped by on his way out to a long weekend and was so nice. And she's just a good kid. So she said they picked up some pies from Quig's apple orchard and they stopped by to visit us. Mm-hmm. What a great kid. Now, the panty thief, they said they had no leads, but were continuing to investigate the link between the killing and the laundry room undergarment theft, because they think there might be a link there. So they said, we're not discounting that, but we're not basing our investigation solely on the undergarment thief.
Pretty solid police work, in my opinion.
Not bad. They said they did question a man who resembled the composite sketch of the thief, but the man denied any knowledge of the theft and was photographed and released. Yeah. You stealing underwear from the laundry room?
God, no.
God, no. Jesus.
Even if I did it, no.
No. Well, the underwear is not the part you're supposed to be after, by the way. Right. It's what's inside of them is what's the important part. So I don't understand that particular perversion, honestly. So,
I'm being honest. I'm not even mature enough to walk past a rack of them at 42.
No.
I walk past bras anywhere, and I'm
like,
getting
look at those. There's boobs going there.
Yeah, one will be in there eventually.
Boy. So they questioned Hudson. He's the one they really think is a good link here. He was away taking his commercial driving test, and he told the detectives that Irene may have wanted to hurt Kristen here. It's possible.
Maybe. Yeah.
They said, quote, Miss Romaniuk told Mr. Hudson, I believe the quote was, she will never get between us. If she does, I will kill her.
Lock her up.
And then he broke up with her, and then she's dead. By the way, this will be hilarious, but I'll wait for that. Detectives said that they had met, this is Irene and Steve, had met several times at Kristen and Steve's apartment. And Steve believes that Irene left clothing in the apartment to reveal the relationship to Kristen. She left shit there on purpose to try to drive her away.
Yep.
So they also said that Hudson said that Irene he's a delivery driver, commercial driver's license. Right. He said that she had been following him on his route from time to time as well.
What the fuck, man?
Just following him. You know what? She just likes to observe the working man. That's all. She just likes to. Boy. It's good old-fashioned American blue-collar work. That's all it is. And she said, you don't see enough of that nowadays, and I like to follow behind it and watch as it happens.
Dirty jobs isn't enough on TV. I need to be right there.
Yeah, I want to see what's going on. I want to smell I want to be in the sewer right with them. So the state's attorney said they also have 4 witnesses who saw a woman matching Irene's description outside the apartment.
Uh-oh.
That's not good. So they bring Irene in. Irene, grab some fucking pine here and let's have a chat. Let's
if you did this, you are shit at this. 4 people saw you do it.
Well, yeah, it was fucking broad daylight also. Yeah. This isn't like the middle of the night. It was 8 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, tons of people coming in and out, going to work. Mm-hmm. So they question her. She agreed to be questioned. This is the next day, by the way. Yeah. So a whole a day goes by, which will tell you a lot about how dumb this fucking lady is. When she shows up, she is, not only does she have long blonde hair, which helps, but she is missing 2 cosmetic fingernails on each hand. And has a torn, regular, natural fingernail and open wounds on 2 of her fingers.
She's
just
trash.
looks like she's been in a melee at 3 a.m. at a bar. And she pulled the other chick's hair, and it took like 5 people to pry their hair apart.
She left the house missing 5 fingernails.
Yeah, to go to a police investigation. Think about that. Where there's a fingernail. She had a day to fix this. She could have went and got her nails done. Didn't do it. So that's pretty amazing. They also said that, but the defense attorney says this is ridiculous. They took her into custody, which, by the way, they showed up and she agreed to come in for questioning.
Yeah.
So that's different. They said they took her into custody in her Chicago apartment without enough evidence to make an arrest, and they didn't even let her make a phone call.
Okay.
She said later on that she asked to call her father, who's a retired Chicago police officer, and the police didn't let her call because there wasn't a payphone nearby. The police officers were carrying cell phones, though, Irene said, and she had a cell phone in her purse, which they put in the trunk of the squad car as, possible evidence. Right. So they said that the cops said they came to her apartment and she voluntarily came in. She wasn't arrested. So she could have called anybody she fucking wanted to. She could have said, hold on, I'm doing something. She wasn't in custody.
Yeah.
She wasn't in cuffs. So they said that, Irene initially denies being at the apartment when she was questioned shortly after this happened. The detectives show her, this is weird, they show her a fake video surveillance tape. There's a surveillance that doesn't show her doing anything, but they have a surveillance tape that is of just the apartments.
Uh-huh.
So they say, well, we're going to play this tape, and they start playing it. And they go, is there any reason why you're going to pop up on this tape? It's not a tape of that morning. It's a tape of now. They just showed it because she thought that she was going to pop up on there.
Oh, shit.
Now, if she wasn't there, she would have went, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But she instead... She burst out while the tape playing for 30 seconds. She said, burst out, quote, "I was just there to drop off Steve's clothes. I didn't hurt anybody. Nothing happened."
Oh my God, they called her bluff.
They just called, they did the copy machine
Xerox
lie
strip,
detector on her. That's it.
Incredible. So they don't have any surveillance of her there at all.
Absolutely not. If they just let the tape play, if she sat there with her arms crossed, they would have never seen shit. They said, "Any reason why we're going to see you on here?" That's how sure they were that she did it.
Wow.
That's how sure
they
put that on. "We're going to see you pop up here pretty soon. It's going to happen." Oh, boy, I wonder what's going to happen. She's trying to, mitigate it before it happens. So the Illinois State Police Sergeant Joe Michi here, he said when he went to her apartment the day after the body was found, her left pinky and ring fingers were missing nails and were red and oozing. And the police obviously found a bloody artificial nail near the body.
Uh-huh.
They said, "How'd you hurt your fingers there? You lost some nails there, honey."
Yeah.
She said she accidentally hurt her hand. How, Jimmy? What do you think her excuse is going to be? Let's play a game. Everyone out there, pick an excuse of why there's some cuts on her hands and she's missing a couple fingernails and one of them's bleeding.
Did she say doing yard work?
Nope. That would be reasonable. At least that's a reasonable excuse. Her excuse is insane. Hers was she heard it in the garbage disposal. Okay.
Both hands?
What kind of... I've stuck both hands down there. How about you wouldn't have any fingers? It doesn't just give you some nicks and take a nail off. What are you talking about?
It chewed up my hand once and took a couple of nails. I put the other hand in to get the nail.
Yeah, I said, shit, I got to get that out of there. I lost a ring in there. So... It's in the garbage disposal. As soon as she said that, that's when they said, "You're being detained now. You're not allowed. You were allowed to leave before, but now you're not." Okay.
Yeah.
Also, the bloody shoe print found in the apartment matches the bloody sole of a shoe that they found in her apartment. So they matched it right. It's bloody still with her blood on it. In a search of her house as well, Irene's house, they revealed blood on the entryway floor, a wall, and a bathroom floor. Blood everywhere.
How did she think she was getting
A garbage disposal was nasty.
She's the dumbest.
She's dumber than Stacy stopping at Sonic to see if the fucking other kids are there. They said a person matching her description and a vehicle like hers at the Tanglewood apartment complex in the weeks before the death. So people had recognized her because they'd seen her before there. So her attorney said, she had spent several overnight visits there. That's why people recognize her. It's not that she was there that morning. She just had been there before.
She's there banging a guy.
Yeah. Then they found blood on a tissue in Irene's car that matched Kristen's DNA.
Jesus Christ.
Not great there. They said, in addition, a drop of blood found in the apartment matched also, we're talking in Kristen's apartment, the murder scene matched Irene's DNA as well. Yeah. So her blood.
What else was at Irene's house? All the panties?
I was going to say, she's also the panty thief. That's a good one. All the panties, all of everything. Fucking. Also like a pot belly thing to put on and a fake mustache and a cheech wig.
Mullet.
And a cheech wig. That's what she's got. All of that. By the way, speaking of Cheech, 420 virtual live show.
It's going to be great.
Is happening. Yes, we can't wait for that. Tickets go on sale soon. So they end up arresting her, obviously.
Yeah.
Clearly. Duh. Charge her with first-degree murder, home invasion, and residential burglary because there's $8,000 missing.
Right. And that's not good because that's fucking capital, right?
That's exactly what that is. She's being held on $500,000. Prosecutors say thinking about the death penalty here.
Absolutely.
For her. This is exactly kind of what they have it for, I think, is what the prosecutors are saying. Like this, it fits all the parameters of legally here. So they said during the bond hearing, she just stood still and looked at the floor. She is estranged, by the way, from her husband.
Oh,
she's married.
My God. It gets way worse.
It gets way. Wait till you hear about the husband, who's a secretary. We're not done with murder yet. Who's a secretary at Probo's Inc. in Chicago. Is the key word there. At the time he was. Later on, he certainly will not be anymore. Hey, everybody. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently wherever your problem areas are. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right. Let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad.
Right.
There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it, and get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show. Oh boy.
Yeah, she has no prior criminal record, and they said it's probably jealousy. That's what it is. And the cosmetic fingernail also matches the DNA.
Of course it does.
Irene. So it's you can't dead to rights. To rights. Now, they did say at the end of all this that the Arlington Heights police were still looking for the person who's been taking women's panties from the laundry room.
Just so you know, we're not giving up on that one.
That's still a thing that we're worried about. But also, we caught the murderer.
Yeah.
Two separate people for once. So they said they will seek the death penalty. Hudson, they said, is not a suspect at all.
Good for.
There's a bunch of evidence that gets let in. They said that they asked her to come to the police station. She didn't refuse. So that any evidence after that, they're going to let in. She tried to get all of that thrown out. because she tried to say they arrested her at her house but didn't read her rights at her house when they arrested her. And she said, you weren't under arrest. You were asked to come, and you said yes. That's a voluntary thing. So in the trial here, in his opening, the defense attorney says, because now they have
She's
to say
out of her fucking mind.
They say she did it.
Yeah.
They have to because there's DNA back and forth everywhere. So, but they're saying that it was just she blacked out in a moment of passion. So second-degree murder, not first degree. Cut her some slack. She's blacking out. Everybody's blacking out.
There's a problem in Illinois.
Nobody can keep consciousness. But when they do go black, they never just sit there catatonically. They're always murdering someone in the middle of this. It's wild.
People are in danger with these blackouts.
Yeah. Do they ever have blackouts where they just make a sandwich? Or they wake up and they're eating a turkey sandwich and they're like, how did I get this turkey?
Wake up and the whole house is clean?
Yeah. Oh. I normally put Swiss. This says provolone. I must have blacked out. Wake up, their laundry's done.
The landscape is all redone.
Wow. I was glad I did that.
Best blackout ever.
So this is what the attorney, Barry Spector, said. Quote, Irene hit her, and she hit her. But it was not Chris's face she saw when she hit her. It was Tom, and it was Steve. That's her ex-husband and her boyfriend, sort of. Tom Tudyk is the guy she's talking about here. They were in the middle of divorcing at the time of the killing. Wow. That's what he says. So Hudson, Steve, takes the stand here.
Yeah.
And he says that he never beat, because she tries to say, Irene says that Steve beat her up. Okay. So he says, I never beat her up. He said, I did throw things not at her, but around the room.
Oh, boy.
During heated arguments. Whereas she stood up and yelled, you lie, from the defense table. In court.
Oh, Jesus.
Seems like a person who can't control their actions, which is
seems volatile.
What murderers do. And then said, you're lying. And then her lawyer was like, chill out. And she goes, you're lying, Steve. They sat her down. So Hudson also told the investigators that months before the death, she threatened to kill Kristen if he didn't break up with her. And the defense, though, said that Hudson made up the threat to deflect any suspicion from him and to steer police away from, quote, what was really going on.
Oh, what's that?
They don't tell you that, obviously. No one who ever says what's really going on they never have details for that.
Yeah.
Whether it's any form of life where people say that shit. So police, they brought in all the physical evidence, like we said. He said that she lost it during a garbage disposal accident. She testifies in court to that.
Wow.
The prosecutor said that was outlandish and ridiculous and told the jury that. The defense said she shouldn't be convicted because it wasn't premeditated. She had to go there.
Right.
They said she just went there to drop off clothes and a fight broke out. And this is what happened. And she just happened to win a lot.
And then took $8,000.
A lot. And then was like, well, I mean, she won't need this money while I'm here. And she also says her husband physically abused her as well. Which has nothing to do with Kristen, by the way. It's nothing at all to do with Kristen. So that's pretty interesting. Tom Tudyk, that's her ex-husband, testified that he struck his former wife twice, once accidentally.
Okay.
So that's once then.
Yeah, but one time he said, why are you hitting me, Tom? Knock it off.
Well, Tom has more problems than that. We'll talk about.
Okay.
He also said Irene lost her faith and became extremely depressed in February of 2000 when her grandmother died, and it never lifted here. Mm-hmm. So, and the defense it was just a lady fight. Come on, things happen.
Okay.
Things happen.
Jesus and her grandma back.
That's it. The defense attorney said, I suggest to you what happened was all out of proportion and unreasonable. If you find that to be true, you will find her guilty of second-degree murder. Wow.
Begging. You are begging.
Get a hold of that logic.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, reel that kite in for a minute here.
Yeah.
If you think what happened was pretty fucking ridiculous and over the top, then obviously she's guilty of a lesser offense. That is bonkers. The prosecutor said Irene went there that day intending to kill Kristen. She was intending to get her out of the way so she could have Steve Hudson. Pretty simple. Right. Verdict took less than 3 hours to find her guilty of murder in the first degree.
Oh, boy.
Absolutely. She now the death penalty is off the table, though. They took that off the table. She faces 20 to 60 years in prison, though.
Okay.
And the sentencing is, you, ma'am, may fuck off 45 years in prison for you.
Good. Solid. Yeah.
And it's a hard 45, by the way.
Fuck.
It's under the truth in sentencing guidelines.
Every day of it.
She's got to do all of that shit. That's a lot. Tons of people showed up, by the way. Mm-hmm. The state's attorney said, I've never seen that kind of support in the hundreds of murder trials I've been a part of. Kristen's family.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, let's do it. It's Patty Part 2. Let's gather up.
This is the second murder of a young girl in our family.
Yep. They said her sister said we had to stand up for Chrissy. Mm-hmm. So she, by the way, Irene in prison, she goes to the Northwestern Prison Education Program.
Oh.
And there's a little like profile on her in their little program, and it said, "What's your favorite field of study?" And she said, "English and psychology." For Irene, and they said, "Describe yourself in 3 words." Violent, blonde, and missing nails. Oh, that's 4 words. Sorry.
Yeah. Complete fucking twat.
She said, "Athletic, funny, lovable."
Really?
Athletic. I beat a woman to death. That's pretty athletic.
I wouldn't pick any of those.
Wow, that is fucking crazy. They asked why you decided to apply to this. She said, "I'm very excited to take this journey and begin this notable experience with NPEP. Northwestern University offers a high-quality education, and I intend to do my very best to succeed in it." Mm-hmm. Right. Then there's a thing called Two Roads, the truth in sentencing issue. It's a piece here. It's the first of a 2-part series that looks at an honest chronicle of the stories and service of incarcerated men and women in the Illinois Department of Corrections. And here is what she wrote here. This is from Irene.
Yeah.
"The truth in sentencing has taken such a toll on me and my family that it's broken us. To be hit with whatever the judge wants to put on you."
Hit with. How dare you use those words?
Hit with. Whatever the judge wants to put on you. Within legal sentencing parameters, that's called.
Yeah.
It's exactly right. You didn't fucking jaywalk, and he said 28 years in prison.
And serve every day of it.
Every day of it. And then be hit by a 100% truth in sentencing is a death sentence for me and my family and friends. By the time I leave prison, I'll be in my 70s. Are you giving me a sob story?
Yeah, I mean, you used hit with and to death. Like to death. You hit somebody
to death.
Sentence. You asshole.
You know what you could have gotten? A death sentence. That's what you could have gotten. So what the fuck are you talking about? I'll be in my 70s, and we'll have lost my parents, my older brother, and my 2 older sisters. How do you know they'll be dead? Your older sisters could be alive.
Why are you killing your family now?
Killing them off, yeah. By 85, they'll all be dead. And no one left to go home to, leaving me out on the streets.
Okay.
And I basically have received a death sentence that mentally the rest of what's left of my family can endure. The probability of me dying in prison is very high because of my age and my sentence and also my medical issues. I was given 45 years at 100%. Every day with no priors whatsoever, without the judge taking into consideration my non-existent criminal history. I don't care that
I'm innocent.
That matters if you get caught like with drugs or something.
Right.
He has no criminal history. Not when you murder somebody.
You're convicted of first-degree murder.
All the rest of it seems very silly in comparison, right?
Truly.
Oh, my family is devastated and is basically waiting to bury me. I bet the other family's very devastated as well, who actually did bury they didn't have to wait. Yeah. They put her right in the fucking ground now. Because of the time given with truth in sentencing, I've done 23 years and have 22 years left to do, and I'm 53 years old with many medical problems. Please, I have absolutely no violent history. This is my first and only offense. This is a double whammy, the amount of time of 45 years at 100%. Then in bold letters, please help me with 2 exclamation points.
No.
So, I'm good with you right where you are.
Yeah.
This is in Logan Correctional Center. She is in. Her projected parole date is 9/15/2045. And her
far away.
Projected discharge date from parole would be 9/17/2048.
Okay.
It's a bit. Now, her ex-husband, very quickly with the last few minutes, Tom Tududge. Okay, he has several arrests according to the
Great.
prosecutors here. Oh, yeah. He had some that were a weapon at one point. He fired 40 rounds from a 9mm handgun into the air, the ground, and at trees on his property because he was mad. Oh, no, this was during the 4th of July he did this.
Oh, four
He
magazines.
just bucked off a bunch of shots
Jesus
with a 9mm.
Christ.
He was convicted of unlawful use of a weapon and sentenced to 2 years probation. Attorneys obviously accused him of abusing his wife who's in prison, which abuse of your husband doesn't mean you can kill a lady. That's not,
no.
You can kill him and we can talk about whether that's mitigating, but not the other way. So he was convicted of disorderly conduct in 2005 in Florida, of course, and he was convicted of driving while under the influence of alcohol as well. Today, though, he's arrested for something a little worse here. He's originally from Poland, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he's only lived in the area he lived in the Chicago area for 25 years, though. He's an ATM installer, and he's taking depression medication. And on May 16th, 2006, he has a bit of a bad day here. He worked for a guy named Gary Potter. I believe it's Potter, at Potter Construction and Development, okay?
Yep.
One morning, there's a witness here, Christopher Haas, May 16, 2006. He hears a noise from Gary's office and goes in to investigate. He saw Tom's left hand on Gary's neck, and Gary coated in blood from the neck down.
Oh, boy.
The victim yelled for Chris to get this guy off of me, so this Christopher Haas grabbed Tom from behind and pulled him away. The victim takes 2 more steps and falls down. Then Christopher Haas struggles with him. More coworkers come in and try to
subdue him.
Take this guy down. Another employee calls 911 and they take him into custody. He apparently had just stabbed the fuck out of his boss with one of the kitchen knives from the office kitchen.
Wow. For what?
Well, this is amazing. He had a performance evaluation the day before.
Yeah, those are stressful.
Well, I guess another guy, Toby Sandier, he said that he had a conversation about the performance review with Tom and said that Tom said he had to take a pay cut and lose his title of chief estimator.
Okay.
And they said they had and the next morning, though, this guy said he talked to Tom and everything was normal. And then about 45 minutes after he started working, he heard a commotion and he heard people going, help, help, help. He came in the room and they're restraining Tom. There's fucking blood everywhere. He's like, what the fuck? So they said, I guess the day before he was in there for 30 minutes, had the meeting and everything like that. And it's insane. He cut his salary from $62,000 a year to $42,000 a year. That's a big cut.
A third.
He was going around telling everybody, how the fuck am I supposed to pay my mortgage now? I can't pay my bills and blah, blah, blah. He said in the office the day before, I can't believe Gary cut my fucking pay. And how am I going to be able to pay my fucking mortgage now? That son of a bitch and, all that sort of thing.
So he cut his throat.
So he cut his throat, stabbed the fuck out of him.
Wow.
So when police arrived there, they took him into custody. He did not resist. They read him his Miranda rights, but he didn't acknowledge or respond to them. He just took them.
Okay.
They collected evidence, including the knife, the blood, countertops. There's blood on the floor, walls, desktop, countertops, ceiling, everywhere. They collected a knife that was broken in 2 parts. He stabbed him till it broke.
Jesus, my God.
At the station, they inventory his clothing and took pictures of him. While in the interview room, he lunges toward a detective's revolver. He tries to get a detective's gun in the interrogation room. That's why a lot of police departments, including on The Wire, when they go in the room, they take their gun off, put it in their desk drawer.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be in a fucking tiny room with somebody with a gun. That's why there's no guns in prison, because you don't want to be in a room with someone in a gun. With a gun.
They may be desperate. You don't know what they're going through.
And as he was being restrained, he was screaming, I want to die. I want to kill myself.
Oh, boy.
So, they remove him from there. The cops learn about his performance evaluation and everything else. He was slow in responding. They talked to him for about 2.5 hours. They said he was responsive when they offered him water, food, and cigarettes. He started to be more friendly.
Yeah.
He said he didn't know what happened, and he repeatedly asked what happened and said that he did something bad.
Yeah.
Yep, he said he was angry about his performance evaluation. He took 2 pills that morning, and the last thing he remembered, he arrived at work, and he also said that this is a lot about his ex-wife's spirits.
What?
She's back. Irene's back. That's why we're talking about this. He said that her anger was in him and that she provoked him to do things he would normally not do. So she can remotely access him and his emotions from prison.
This is amazing.
That is a bad bitch right there. I'll tell you what.
She's really terrible. This is a better Stephen King book than any Stephen King book.
She hasn't been around in 6 years. And he's like, she still controls my emotions and makes me stab people. Wow, what an asshole. So they also said that he admitted his intention was to hurt the victim and that he was mad at the victim for reducing his salary. He said that he grabbed a knife from the office kitchen, hid it in his sleeve, walked to the office, stabbed the victim in the chest, and then he put his head down and said, I fucked up. That's an understatement, sir. Well done. I would say. He said that the police said they checked around for medication but couldn't find any. Uh-huh. They went to his home to look for medication, but no one was home, and they never ordered a toxicology report because they weren't sure if he was telling the truth or not. So his defense is that he has a history of alcohol abuse and has reported derogatory auditory hallucinations, memory problems, physical symptoms, including muscle twitching, and said that he would faint at his workplace because of stress, and he has fainting spells, and that his wife's spirits are forcing him.
That's why you lost a third of your pay, sir.
That's normal.
You faint
You're a
at work.
Up. You're fainting. He's saying from a medical condition, though.
Yeah.
If you faint from a medical condition, that's different. He said that he tried medications, but the side effects made him, quote, feel weird and different. He began to hear voices telling him to kill himself and had violent nightmares about his ex-wife.
Oh, my. He's unstable.
He blamed this on Ambien, which he said to the cops was twice as powerful as LSD. Which,
yeah, if you try to stay awake through that shit.
I've done LSD. Yeah. Ambien is shit compared to LSD. LSD is fantastic.
But if you LSD, you do while you're awake. You're meant to. Like Ambien, you take it, lay the fuck down. Man.
Lay down, relax.
You'll go to sleep.
No, he said it gives him
You're not supposed
LSD
to take it
nightmares.
and then do your day.
Nope, he said LSD nightmares, though.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what. He said he was taking Wellbutrin that morning, not Ambien.
Oh, okay, Wellbutrin did this.
Which he also said that affected him and made him all fucking crazy. Which there's multiple people that have a Wellbutrin thing. There's Wellbutrin rage. He said he had no memory at all of what happened, and he just knows he woke up in a psychiatric ward, and that's all that happened there. Yep, that's it.
Damn Ambien and Wellbutrin, man.
During the trial, he is convicted. They try to say he's a hardworking man who's just consider his mitigating factors. And the judge says, I am considering the mitigating factors, and I will give you a sentence range right in the middle, he said is appropriate. Okay. And he was sentenced to, you, sir, may fuck off 40 years for the murder and a consecutive term of 5 years for attempting to disarm a peace officer.
The boss did die.
The boss died. Oh, he's dead as fuck.
Boy,
he stabbed the fuck out of him. The guy dropped and died right there. So he got the exact same amount of time Irene got.
How about that?
Exactly. He appeals and says that, he was on medication and all that, and they say, you can keep on fucking off, sir.
Cop's gun, man.
That is Arlington Heights, and 3 murders for the price of 1. That's an express right there, baby.
Wow.
If you like that, tell the world, tell your friends, spread the show, share the show on social media, tell your friends all about it. It helps out the show a lot. You know
Something's
what I mean?
In the water there, right?
It has to be. This is a mess. That whole thing's a fucking mess.
Wow.
Get in there. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. Tickets to live shows. Also, virtual live show. 420 time again, baby. Yeah. We're going to be dressing up as something silly, and I'm going to make Jimmie smoke pot out of some very crazy contraptions. Christ. It is going to be weed out of strange things that'll make him freak out. It'll be very funny. And we'll have a crazy, funny show, just like a regular live show, but in your living room. Speaking of that, tickets to live shows, get them right now because they are hot. They're going fast. Nashville's sold out. Phoenix sold out. Months away. Get them right now. Minneapolis, beat Chicago, you bastards. That's right. God damn it. Get in there. September's a nice place to be in. Nice time to be in Minneapolis. So we can't wait for that. Get those. Patreon.com/Crime and Sports. where you get everything, all your bonus material, $5 a month or above, a couple hundred back episodes, new ones every other week. This week, Morgana the Kissing Bandit, big-titted lady kissing people. We're on fields where she shouldn't have been for crime and sports. Small Town Murder, prisoner dating game, baby. You know what that's about. Anybody $5 a month or above, and you get a shout-out at the end of the show. Get in there, do that. Follow us on social media, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. Follow us, hang out with us, keep coming back week after week, because we will. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
Wayfair's President's Day clearance is on. Right now through February 18th, get Wayfair's best deal since Black Friday with fast and easy shipping straight to your door. Save up to 70% off now at Wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.